And there's a lot of like software and apps that have come out in the last 2 weeks. It's actually kind of mind blowing at the pace of implementation. I don't want to get too deep down the rabbit hole with it because we did
Yeah,
talk about it this week, but it is just it's insane. And I could see this
I
being a
got
big
a.
part of the GitGotchi program. That's where I was going with it.
No, and you're dead on the money. You know, we spent a little bit of time in the Motiverse, hanging out with Rizzle, and doing some of this Blender work now. And I got Stable Diffusion integrated into Blender today as a add-on. And so you're right. Like the toolings are making it easier for people like us to onboard. So lots of opportunities there. So again, we won't dive into it because it's a whole deep realm. But we're definitely starting to get active on the building side of things.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love that energy behind it, and I'm all for it. Speaking of building, GMI landing page and the business card prototype. So ZFi has been he killed it on the last design for Eat Denver. It was really well done. I just felt it was really intuitive, and it actually scales really well down from your phone all the way up to a big screen. So that's something I was looking for in a website also. And just it's just clean. I love the aesthetic design of it. And so he's gonna redo, the same thing, but for the Eat Denver, or sorry, the GMI Friends homepage. And so we're getting a homepage built out. It'll be sort of a little bit of a bio. We'll have some crew descriptions, core team descriptions, podcast descriptions, links to our socials and whatnot. And so, what I would request from you guys this week is if you can email me or DM me just like a quick bio, even if you're copy pasting it from some other source, but just to have all your bios, I would appreciate that because we'll be using those to build out the web page. And so, yeah, if you have any additional background info, things that are pertinent to your bio, just let me know.
It might take it a second to update, but I just added a toggle underneath that GMI landing page business card prototype that says potential layout, and I just sourced your kind of working doc into that as well.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, exactly. So I just kind of a bit of a brain dump that I did with ZFi the other day on page design, and so it'll be what do we do kind of thing. Team bio, significant projects we've been involved with, our programming, of course, our socials, and where can you find us, like your Discord, call to action to join, whatnot. And then you got your Aavegotchi official links, blog, vote, DAO, DApp, verse. So that'll be a quick, concise page where you can find everything you need. And it's cool because it targets to the back of a business card, and it's a super clean business card. Shout out to Thrax who designed this thing. The front of it just says GMI, like what you see up here. It's literally this nice clean logo, and then on the back you have the QR code. Scan the QR code, it takes you to the page where it has all of our stuff. So there's really not much to say on the business card itself. It's just to target to gmifriends.com. So
Nice.
yeah. So we got 100 of those prototypes. I'm gonna take them to Miami with me, and I'm gonna go hand a bunch of them out, do a little promotion for GMI there, and if they're looking good and they work great, I'll copy paste those and get the 500 foil cards made, which we also have an order put together for that. So so we'll just get that done over this week. Potential layout, yeah, we went through that, so yeah, we can call that one done. Eat Denver Gotchi Gang Invasion giveaway. So the block party giveaway is complete. Stellar Hobbs giveaway chain. We were gonna do a giveaway chain with Stellar Hobbs. I don't know about the logistics of it at this point. I mean, we could still do like a live stream giveaway of some sort, but we have given away, I think, 20 fake gotchis at this point.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine. I think we can still make it happen. Like he hasn't even reached out for the address to be able to get his extra little goodies there, so it's just not a matter of misses yet. We just haven't even linked up. So once we get in touch with him and let him know we want to coordinate something, I'm sure he'll be more willing to do it than not do it.
Yeah,
but,
I'm still feeling
if he says no, then that's fine. Yeah, but I imagine it won't be an issue.
I'm still feeling that Eat Denver energy. I feel like we can still kind of have a cap it off at the end of the month before Miami hits. Do like a giveaway chain. Just first person on Twitter sponsors another person. You sponsor the next, and maybe we give away like 10 of those because we still do have a significant amount of the supply. And I would like to get really good distribution for these, and just make sure that there's a good chunk of Gotcha Gang that were either there or get the opportunity to get one. Get one. So, even if we have like 10 left in the treasury, if we can distribute the majority of these, maybe we do even a couple auctions and do a couple listings. I think we'll be able to distribute the majority of them. I think there's a hunger for these. These are OG Grail cards.
Well, I will say, if friends haven't seen yet, if you head to the GMI Spacious north of the GMI estate and you see that Stellar Hobbs ETH Denver piece on a NFT display, it's just like all the fake gotchi art is good, but seeing this really like topical event related fake gotchi stuff displayed, it's cool to see it.
It's like a classic movie poster, man. It's good times. It brings back memories already. So it's gonna be nostalgic. I love it. I love the design of it. Um, and yeah, so maybe we plan some things for distribution here, but I think there's still plenty left to give away. And everybody that helped us out during Eat Denver, especially the core team and cavalry, I want to definitely make sure we at least get everybody one card for their efforts.
Yeah, should be no problem to manage that. And then we got a whole bunch of prizes to send out too, huh? So all the ghost bounties have been dispersed, so we're good on those. Oh, actually, I jumped right past. Did you have anything else on the Eat Denver piece?
Nope, that's all I got. Oh yeah, actually, one more thing. The Eat Denver founders, shout out to T-Bird for giving me the addresses there. We'll make sure we get them one too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's a good call there. And then you had a note here. What do you talk about with this? Find the fake Gotchiverse treasure hunt. Find the parcel with the Denver fake on it. Maybe do a retweet contest or something. You kind of brainstorm in there.
Yeah, just a little brainstorm. We could probably do a GMI retweet contest for one of the cards as well, just to get it out there and be some good engagement for a GMI account as well.
Let's see if we can maybe coordinate with Infinity Keys and be a part of their prize pool. They're about to drop their challenge, and that should be a lot of hype. And they'll have a lot of effort already put into amplifying their message and getting themselves out there, so we could probably just jump in tandem with them once that energy hits too.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. I'm good with that.
Okay, so next up, bounties, prizes, stickers, fake gotcha design work. You gave away a whole bunch of stuff the other day. I was laughing earlier because it was remember that we had to actually send it all out too, right?
It feels good in the moment when you give it away, and then you have to remember to actually give it away. So you actually have to make the thing happen at the end. So we do have some cards to give away here. We have 15 of those Eat Denver fakes. We have 5 fake Sams, and then we have another additional 4 Eat Denver fakes that we distributed from that we gave out during Block Party. So we have that, and then the third Adepts. We got 2 of those. We had 2 winners for the third Adepts. I know Golden Cross is one of them. I can't remember the other one. And then we have Foreign, who we also owe, who has been gracious enough and patient enough to finally let us send her one. And so we'll make sure we get that done as well.
Perfect. And then we'll have the allocation for Stellar Hobbs. He's getting 10 for his own wallet in general. We want to give him the 10 card allocation to kind of figure out how to distribute. The 150 Ghost has already been done and sent. And then I just need an address from him so we can take care of the physicals.
Yeah, perfect. And then when we did publish that fake, we made sure the full 4% royalty from any sale goes to Stellar Hobbs.
Nice.
It felt right.
Stuff there.
Yeah, it felt right. Okay, Infinity Keys.
Next
you just
up.
mentioned them.
Yeah, go for it.
I was just gonna say Infinity Keys. You just mentioned them. Basically, there's opportunity for collaboration there. There's some really cool gotchi puzzles coming up, and we have a chance here to maybe add to their prize pool, and jump on board, do a little promotion for them, and get their word out.
Well, without giving away the whole plan here, but they have some really cool integration experiences planned that are going to highlight the Gotchiverse and kind of force some exposure to the Gotchiverse. So I'm excited for them.
Okay.
I'm happy to see it get introduced, and I want to see what it's going to look like when it hits the ground. I think people are
Yeah,
going to dig it.
absolutely. We have GM with GMI. How do you guys think that's been going? We've been kind of switching it up lately. We've been doing in Discord hangouts in the morning.
I'm gonna let someone else answer first.
I find them to be fun. I just think my only criticism really, and we all know this, is that the initial and original purpose is to like kind of spread out and get new people involved, which if we're not doing it on Twitter, we're not getting those, new eyes potentially. So I think that maybe GMI's focus should be more of a like I'm doing this for Orium, like where Anani, like I want to do Twitter Spaces, but he wants me to get people to come to the Discord. So it might, I might advise you guys to do some additional marketing on Twitter to tell people that this event is happening, you
Hmm.
know, and engagement farm to get them into the Discord. Because if not, we're gonna end up, I love you all, and that it's great being there every morning, but the intended purpose is like we're missing it.
Yeah. Totally. No, I 100% agree with you. I'm totally okay with the format. I'm okay with the way we're doing it here. It's fun. You can engage a little bit more. But now what we've given up is that we have to make sure we do a harder push towards marketing to get people into the space, because we know we're giving up the advantage that we had of having the open door and having people come in. We're trading that out in a sense for a deeper experience, but that also means we have to now strategize on a funnel to get people into our Discord for these events.
Well, I think you're doing a good job with getting the restream employed here, so that way we're getting these GM with GMIs captured. And now the next step is for us to chop and snip and be able to circulate that content, and again try to create this kind of attention funnel. But yeah, we can definitely work on all that kind of stuff. Those are good observations, good input.
Well, I think Twitch has a really cool feature now with the setup we have. We can go back after the fact, after we've done our half an hour session, and I can go clip the most significant portions of the taping, and then I can go publish those on Twitter right away and say, "Hey, look what you guys just missed. We just talked about this interesting thing." Uh, and so that
That's
might be
actually
some
super
post.
cool. So you can use Twitch as the edit platform for the video content
Yep,
that you just broadcasted there, and then export it directly to Twitter.
exactly.
Yeah, let's play with that this week then. That's awesome.
Quick question with that. Is it a click through link though? Well, like if like with YouTube, I can do something similar where it'll allow me to edit, but
Hmm.
when I export it, it's just exporting like basically a
Like a
HTTP,
YouTube
like a web
link.
address that shortens the clip. So people would have to click out of Twitter into YouTube to see it. Will it be the same, or is the video actually being exported where you can watch it natively in Twitter?
That's a good question. And actually, I don't know the answer to that, but I'm going to figure this out. If it is a click through link, the way we could get around that is I would straight up just record that clip on my computer, like a screen capture, and I can
Bingo.
actually upload it through the restream as a video clip. So you can actually upload a video clip and then restream it out. So it'll still show up on the GMI page, on Twitter, across Twitch, across YouTube. It's a little bit more work on my part because I'd be doing a manual screen capture of the clip, but if Twitch allows for it, that streamline the whole process.
Cool.
Hey,
Yeah, we'll do some experiments.
are you recording the show separately outside of just Restream recording it? Like with my device, it records it, and then I can just move it right into Premiere and cut it up very quickly. Are you able to do that, or are you just going to do it all
Yeah.
software?
Well, currently I'm not, but you can do that. I believe I can add OBS, like I can add an OBS stream or somehow add the camera, OBS camera to this. And so that way I can actually record through OBS and have that recorded on my machine while we're live streaming. But I'm not familiar with it. I haven't done it yet, so I'm gonna have to experiment with that a little bit before I know. But yeah, we definitely have some experimentation left to do there, but there's some opportunity to chop up some of these clips after the fact and get them up there. Actually, I've Descript, and so Descript will allow us to actually create like little scripts. It's like it's AI backed, and it's able to take your like little video clips and turn them into more audio visual text clips. I don't know. It might be interesting.
Oh, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's some cool stuff to experiment with. We'll keep working on it.
Yeah, but there's definitely ways to promote here, and I'm actually going to add that in. Post content promo. Okay, technical debt. We kind of went over this last week. It's just basically talking about everything we just discussed during this whole call. It's just making sure that our processes are more streamlined, things are looking more professional, cleaned up. That things are getting streamed to the right locations. That the flow between our shows is like seems not seamless, but at least smoother. These are the sorts of things that I'm going to kind of work on here in my spare time the next week. Automated Twitter programming announcements, because I have a subscription to Circle Boom, and they're like a deep analytics tool for Twitter, but they're also their automation tool, so you can start posting things automatically. It has like it's able to optimize for posting time and stuff. It's actually a really good tool. It's a paid tool, and I don't use it very often. So we should use the GMI account. We should definitely get the GMI account on there.
Yeah, may as well. Absolutely. If you're already paying for it and underusing it, let's get better at the tools that we already have access to.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's the other thing I wanted to discuss was increasing access to the Canva. I have Adobe Photoshop, but I was trying to see if I can add team members on it. I can't because I have the student version, so I can't add other people on because I have the student pack or whatever. So unfortunately, that one's not available. But if GMI is interested as a group on getting a team subscription, we can look into that and see what the pricing is like. At this point, I don't think it's necessary, but if we're doing a lot, with it, then it might be worth it.
I can see it one day. Yeah, not soon.
Yeah. And then last thing here for technical debt, I've signed us up on the Twitch affiliate program. Well, not completed, haven't completed registration yet, but I've signed up for the affiliate program. Yeah, began the affiliate program process. But got hung up on some of the registration steps, and so it seems like we will need an official organization before we can actually be signed up as an affiliate. So we're working on that in the background, and at the same time, the affiliate program will open up tipping and income streams through Twitch, and so any Web2 funds that get donated towards our show can be paid out through the affiliate program and then dispersed out. So it's just another pathway for opening up some funding, because we are a publicly funded model. We're like the PBS of the Gotchiverse. And so for us to continue on and continue doing what we're doing, we should start thinking about ways of offering up avenues for people to help fund our cause if they enjoy what we're doing. So I think that the affiliate program is the start of it. We're thinking about a few other things that would be interesting for people, like a merch. Some sort of merchandise offering would also be interesting. We got lots of ideas right now, but the bottom line is just making sure we have avenues open for people to show their appreciation if they like what they see. So yeah, that's that. That wraps up the technical debt. I got to work on that this week. GMI LCA charter. McCallum, I'm just gonna let you talk on that one for a sec while I grab some water.
For sure. Yeah, so nothing huge in terms of developments that are worth talking about in depth. If you're specifically curious or interested in like LCA structure, which is limited cooperative association structure, or what it looks like to move an entity from a loose group of folks into a legal entity, by all means ping me. Just let me know. I can happily share with you the current musings and information that's been gathered. But based on all the initial research, we are settling on the Colorado LCA structure. So that limited cooperative association structure is a relatively new model. It's not something that is very old or deployed frequently, and so this is kind of the modern day Wyoming attitude. Everyone mentions Wyoming when you talk about DAO stuff and DAO entities, and the Colorado LCA looks like the cutting edge of that. So it will require a Colorado registered agent, which those are very affordable. It's like a $35 fee a year on annual for that, which is very lightweight. That essentially just gives us legal residence in the state, so that way we can register a address where we can receive official correspondence and legal notice, and so that'll be what that's about. We can file the formation documents ourselves. It's that easy. You just go to the Colorado Business Bureau and just take out the LCA form. They don't even allow paper copies. You can't even physically print it and mail it in or anything. They only accept it as a digital, essentially a type form. And so it's about as simple as it can get. And there's like $100 filing fee, and then boom, you have an LCA. It's that easy in terms of creation of the LCA itself. Where it gets difficult is when you want to try to deploy what would be called like the charter or the bylaws. And so those are the denser side of the formation. But we're really, really lucky because we're following right behind a lot of great organizations that are already doing this LCA adoption. Most recently is the Collab Land DAO. And so they have produced a really good charter. And so we're essentially working right off of that, literally a copy pasta. Some of their sections aren't applicable to what we do here at GMI. Some of them are. Some of them need slight adaptation, but we're essentially going to just use that and fork it. And then we'll have a really good LCA looking charter. We'll do a public review here with everybody and make it known in the announcement channels and let everybody review it and read it and ask questions about it. And we'll kind of tweak it and tune it together. And then once we're happy with it, we'll create the formation and we'll start moving forward with a lot more legal business leverage. Yeah, so there's that part. Talking about the D420 special here now. So the burn mechanic for last year's work, so this is rear facing, right? So this is going to be about what we do for existing holders, the 123 unique wallets that are currently holding at least one copy of the One Hit Wonder. So we're going to do something for those friends. We've got a couple ideas. I'll let Hefe kind of mention what he's thinking specifically, and then there's the forward looking about what we want to do new for this year's 420.
Yeah. So there's two components there. Like you said, there's the burn mechanic for last year's work, and I'm thinking that will be some sort of a raffle ticket style thing where you're essentially treating some of last year's copies as a raffle ticket. And so there will be different tiers of work. We also have some extra fake gotchi, or not fake gotchis, but we have some extra one-hit wonders that we can get out into the wild there for friends who may want to keep their one and buy one just to enter into the raffle to maybe win one of these one of two kinds of fake gotchis. I'm thinking a higher tier and a secondary tier, and then we also have a third artwork that I'm actually working on something for it right now. And I'm thinking this third artwork I won't mint as a fake gotchi, but I'll give it out to the holders of One Hit Wonder as just as a thank you commemorative token. And so you have the two fake gotchis plus a commemorative token, and that'll be essentially the offering for the District 420 special. Also have ideas about maybe getting a sticker made here locally, so maybe having one or two stickers made, and haven't really thought about distribution for those yet, but I'm sure I can come up with some good ideas on how we might.
We'll see what people in here think, but you mentioned something when we were first talking about this that I kind of liked and I've latched onto, which is we can do the drawing against the existing One Hit Wonder holders. So by holding it in your wallet, it's already essentially an entry into that raffle. But I also want to do a second tier, like you're saying, for people that are willing to burn their One Hit Wonders.
Yes.
And I think I'd like to do a high commodity value object for that. And so, like, in my mind, I'd like to give away the front panel of the Gotchi mascot. It's something that I can recreate, and it's something that's very unique, something that's very special, something that is a one of a kind, truly. is memorable for our community in general. The back panel's got to stay with me. It's got the signatures and everything on it, but I'm open to issuing out the front panel or something else of that nature. Is it at the ETH Denver woodblock? We've got some of the
Snap.
backboard panels from ETH Denver event when they were in the Marijuana Mansion. The black panels that had the glow logos done on them. We still have those, so we have things that we can literally offer.
Do we have any goodie bags we can still give away?
We have just a few. I think I've got 3 left, and that depends on whether or not Stellar steps up out of the woods and claims his. And then also the ETH Denver badges. Those are very rare, high commodity objects, but we do have a few of those.
Okay, so we have a bunch of stuff actually. We have backboard
Yeah,
UV
so we gotta
panels,
just
timber badges.
exactly. So we just gotta sit down and map out like our prize buckets, and then figure out what kind of different tiers we wanted to try to create. But there's definitely tons of opportunities to take care of existing supporters.
Yep. And then last but not least, I just put here 10-foot vape bag challenge. I don't know what this is going to look like, guys. I have no idea. It's just an idea I have in my head. I planted it. Give me a week. I think I'll think of some cool things that we could do. But I essentially have a volcano vaporizer, and it has it basically you can make the vape bags for it on unlimited size. Like I think the roll I get is like 50 feet long, so I could have a 50-foot vape bag, but that wouldn't make sense. I don't have 50 feet in here in length, but I could do
We'll
a
have to do
10.
some kind of thing. We'll have to do some kind of silly thing, which like every 10 ghosts donated equals a foot or something. And we'll see
Yeah,
how many
exactly.
how many feet we can get people to put you up on, and then we'll have to watch you live drain it.
Yeah, I put their Alchemica bets, which could be an alternative thing. Also, is you bet on how many feet worth I could get in a certain amount of time before I have to tap out. That could be interesting as well. I could take wagers on that.
No tap out. Just how much time is it going to take until you finish it? You don't get to leave the room until it's done.
Oh man, I'm getting ready for yeah. I got to build up for this. I got to do some training for this.
Hey, you brought it up.
Yep,
It's a good idea. Yeah, let's do it.
I'll get a 5-foot made up. Just start training early.
Just
Get
practicing.
ready for that.
Just
Yep.
5 foot bags of regular air just to start training your lung capacity.
Yeah, no, it'll be fun. It'll be a good time. If you guys have some more interesting ideas, like I'd love to get some people, artists doing music. Like if we want to do a set, I would love to do something like that. You know,
Yeah, absolutely. Live performances, any of that kind of stuff. If you've got anything in mind that you'd want to do or that you think might be cute, please bring it up, and we'll happily identify what we can and can't accomplish. But some really good ideas. Honest to God, I'm still in love with Awkward's music video, Aavegotchi. Stuff like that. I gotta see more of that kind of stuff. I'd love to
oh
do a show
man,
reel like that.
yeah, I got you on my mind. Love it. Okay, cool.
Cool. Okay, next up, website support. That was really just kind of back-looking business. We've got the bounty of the 325 Ghost. It's been sent out to ZFi. Shout out to ZFi. Well done. Thank you for getting that ETH Denver front page done. I'm looking forward to the revamp and the restyle with the new contract as well.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Zifa has been doing good work for us, and yeah, looking forward to that design. Keep it up. BizDev follow up. This was from last week. I don't think we really need to go into this too much. But do we have anything that we need to follow up regarding ThriveCoin, Aragon? DAO Lens is actually a research project for me because I think it'll help with the DAO meetings and all that. But
You mentioned that you signed up for the tester over there too, right?
yeah, I haven't heard back from him yet. But or I might have got an email,
Oh,
but I haven't looked into it yet.
that's always a great sign.
Yeah.
I
Well, no,
signed up for it and they haven't answered yet.
well, no, I'll give him some credit. I think the email is in my inbox. I think it's on me. I haven't checked it and
Okay,
really dug
perfect.
into it. Yeah.
Very reasonable. That's very likely. ZFi's mentioned in there in chat too. Is there's another ThriveCoin meeting this coming Monday, and it'll be held publicly in the Aavegotchi Discord server. So that'll be another one of the opportunities for that ongoing biz dev to continue. That one's getting interesting. That's cool to watch this project being community operated so far to this point, and watching the discussion of like, well, here's how our DAO works, and here's what you're gonna have to get ready for props, and here's gonna be the questions that get asked, and it's really been fun to watch people kind of taking ownership of this one.
They're quite inspired by our DAO process, actually, in our dedication to our specific process. They were quite shocked, but also appreciative of the way we go about things. So, yeah, I echo that. I think it's gonna be interesting to see this develop and continue following that. Quest GPT. Do you want to talk about that for a little bit, or?
Man, I've been playing it all day. I'm not gonna lie. Bowtie Nerds reached out and talked to Louisa as well, so we'll be talking with her on Monday if we're lucky. She's back and available for discussion. So Louisa is the founder and current operator of Community One. Community One is the parent operation, and one of their new products is Quest GPT. This was an ETH Denver hackathon project. Actually, they built this at ETH Denver, and are now introducing it to the world. And it's essentially a AI operated dungeon master. It's basically D&D plus chat GPT, but can be content targeted to just about any kind of community out there. So little visions of essentially Bowtie's forked into the Gotchiverse, or the Gotchi Folklore Society, and this idea of text-based RPGs and text-based adventures. It seems like he's not the only one that was thinking that way, and I think Quest GPT is essentially going to give us that concept executed at the level of AI.
What do you see about the plugin availability, the ability for this to plug into a Discord server?
Oh, it's absolutely their intention in my mind. They're still kind of small about the whole thing. They're not like blatantly selling it to anybody. They're not charging it to anybody. They're not deploying it to other Discords. They're keeping it in house right now. But that's literally just them perfecting their product delivery in my mind. And so that's what our call will be about: is what's it going to take to get this thing in our server? What is the deal? And so we'll find that out from them, as well as looking at the Community One product suite and offerings. They have some really intriguing stuff. This lady is very powerfully smart and had a long career within Microsoft development, and a lot of good high tech Web 2 type placement. Has essentially made her nut and is now trying to just do interesting things in the community side of Web 3. So I think we're going to benefit by what she's building.
Yeah, very cool. Awesome.
Yeah, there's
looking forward to those
T-Bird
developments.
and Chet right there, right?
Yeah.
T-Bird ran into Louisa, was playing around with Quest GPT and tied her in with Bowtie already, and so I know that they've had one discussion. I just don't know what they're planning on doing with it at GFS explicitly, or if they see an integration opportunity for it. But I mean, personally, I see a huge integration opportunity for it for the Aavegotchi community large. Not there, then at least within GMI, it'll be really fun.
Well, I think GMI should have their little. We should have our little group here anyway, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I would want that in our server, but I even see it like for Nori, and maybe even like for Orium. I'm thinking of you guys in the future. Is any of the servers that are trying to create something fun for their peoples to do while they're in server, this is probably one of those good ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, show the Gotchi Folklore Society some love. Got OXC5 dropping the link in the chat there. Check them out. I'm looking forward to seeing these developments with Quest GPT, either here or there or everywhere. So yeah, we'll stay tuned for that. Monoverse, we got Blender and Unity stuff. We've been messing around a little bit with AI plugins, or I have been with AI plugins into Blender. And it's like it's brought me ahead like a year or two in terms of how long I would have had to spend.
Oh, easily. And I downloaded the Unity builder today as well. That's also freeware. You just need an API key, which they provide free of charge and things like that. But if you don't have Blender already installed in your unit, if you don't have Unity already installed in your unit, probably worth looking at. They're powerful software. At the very least, other friends that develop files on them can send you files that you can load up and at least explore and kind of follow along. I'm hopeful that we're going to, especially this kind of ties back into the Git Gotchis, coding and building in general. So, sometimes the Git Gotchis might be working in Blender. Sometimes we might be working in Unity. Sometimes we might be in GitHub. But I think that just by doing these kinds of things, we'll be able to almost provide peer-led workshops and little skill trainings. Because some of us are better at this stuff than others, but some of us are ready to learn.
Yeah, absolutely. I see T-Bird sharing his screen. What do you got? What do you got to share with us, brother?
Nothing. Has anybody had problems with signing into the verse where it's just like you have to sign in multiple times?
Yeah,
I've been
had that
recycled
before.
once or twice. Yeah,
It happened a lot more recently.
For
it's
me,
not consistent and not duplicatable, but it does happen to me.
I'm just gonna fuck around in the
I
arena.
can't sign in, but what will happen is like I'll click on the Gotchi, sign the transaction, and the Gotchi just stands there. And I've had to do it like
Yep.
6 times before the Gotchi goes in.
It's like they never make it through the portal. They never even try to like walk through it.
Yeah, but once they do, it's fine. But I think like I've messed around with changing my RPC. Most of us were using the Anchor RPC after the mainnet Matic one went down, but that one's kind of been like buggy as hell. So I've actually been using mainnet here and there, and it's working. It works pretty decently.
Yeah, right on. I will say I enjoyed the hell out of doing the arena earlier for GMI as well as doing it with the block party with you guys. It's an easy place for Gotchi Gang to go kill some time.
Yeah. Well
Kill
said.
being the operative word here.
Like I'm already fascinated. I'm just watching T-Bird right now. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, well, a lot of friends even just happy to hang out and chat with us in the arena, which was kind of weird, but it was fun.
It's like hanging out in the Wild West on your horses with your guns, right? You don't always have to be shooting. It's just you're allowed to.
That's right. Yeah.
We were having that fun spin party this morning, man. That was a blast.
Yeah, sometimes those bugs do make for a good time. Last thing on the list.
Cool.
Here.
So you had that whip meetup. What's that?
That's just a shout out to Rizzo and what he's doing there. Something to keep an eye on there. What they're doing is weekly.
You know what we should do is we should invite Rizzle into our server to come lead one of these workshops because he's always one of the lead students in the workshops in Monoverse, and so it'd be a cool role reversal for him to say, "Why don't you come try to show us what you've been learning?" He's been really passionate about learning over there in the Monoverse.
Let's get him. Let's get him over. Let's invite him for next week and see if we can get Rizzle to take us through some of his experiences.
The ridiculous crystal castle that he's building.
Is he actually building a crystal castle in Monoverse right now?
Yeah, it's very similar to what we saw at Meow Wolf, quite honestly. Yeah, they're building the Crystal Cathedral as their test world.
Wow, that'll be amazing.
You got the shout out here to the Nori server. I know that you came last Friday and hung out with me and Neil in there. That guy's wildly intelligent. I had the same kind of a conversation with him today, talking about crazy carbon stuff and just a lot of really intriguing stuff that's happening in the refi and the DeFi realm. It's different. It ain't DeFi and it ain't NFT. You know, it's not typical of the DGen stuff that typically captivates our timelines. But I appreciate you hanging out over there for a little while. Foreign won't stay out. I gotta shut it down and kick her out every now and then. So I appreciate the interest from some of y'all.
Yeah, and so just for friends in here wondering if they can join, what time you guys do it on Friday?
We used to do it at the same time that we're currently doing the GM with GMI, and I actually moved the Nori show around us, so it's now at 10 a.m. Mountain Time or noon Eastern Time.
So almost right
1 hour after the start time. Yeah,
okay.
1 hour after the start time for GM with GMI.
Okay, well, let's make sure on Friday mornings then that we're able to plug that right near the end so people know and can follow through over to the space.
For sure.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Then Light Piglet just mentioned here that Meow Wolf's working on VR metaverse experiences. We're all going to congregate. We're going to all come together in the same place.
Now we can show y'all what we've been talking, what we experienced, what we're talking about here. Talking about Meow Wolf all the time these days.
It's a transformative experience for sure, man. It's
it really is.
Okay, so action items out of this chat. We got the building out of the GMI spacious farming parcel. We've got this look at that. I know you and I talked about some options there, and we'll work on some things. I got some glitter we can donate to that cause, and some other little assets to send that direction. Securing the D420 artists. We'll talk about that as well. Go ahead.
Real quick. Does it make sense to get that farming set up to level 7? That's kind of what I was thinking. It's level 7 across the board.
I mean, I've been convinced that the worst thing you can do is like the level 5 or 4 and just sit down in the
Exactly.
middle of the spectrum. Either do it
Mhm.
not the lightest as possible or go all the way. And
Yep.
so I would think that if we're going to be building this with long-term utility in mind and not being hyper concerned about specific ROI path or specific timetables, then I would think it makes sense to just essentially march forward with consistent upgrades to level 9, quite honestly. I don't think it makes sense to gut ourselves and blow all the glitter we possibly can to rush it. I think we
Yeah.
can let time play out, but I would imagine that that's our one spacious right now as an entity. So I would imagine that at least our flagship spacious should probably have the ambition to be fully built out.
Yep. Absolutely.
Cool. We'll talk about 420 artists. We really just kind of got to sit down and come up with our first framework of what the back-looking coverage is going to be, and then what the forward-looking offers are going to be, and then
That's
we'll
this week.
get those thrown up in the forum post. Yeah, we'll get those in a forum post and let people kind of contribute their concepts and ideas and tweak it and find something that we all like, and then we'll move forward with that. And then just talk about more the monoverse and all that kind of whatnot. The long-term goal here is for you and I and anyone else that wants to get involved to be able to finally crack this code about building this GMI virtual HQ. Something we've all been talking about for a while, and I think we're finally starting to see the tool sets that are going to enable us to be able to make that a reality.
It's exciting, man. In this last 2 weeks, my perception on how accomplishable, how easily this can be accomplished has changed. My mind has now moved forward like a few years in terms of how much experience I can aggregate in any one of those skill sets, whether it's Blender, coding, any of those things. And my confidence level has gone up. So I feel confident that we don't need any external help like we did, what like we were thinking before. We might actually be able to build this internally within GMI with, just amongst a group of us in here and learning how to use these AI tools, in combination with some of the stuff we already know, and we'll make it happen.
Yeah, I'm hopeful. I think it'll be good to go. And that is genuinely all I've got. We've got about 5 minutes left to go. What's on your mind?
Not a whole lot. We can, we're notorious for going way over our initially projected times. So I think
Holy shit, are we going to end one early?
we can try and average it out by a little bit, and shave a couple seconds off of our average time by ending this one early.
I like it. Yeah. Unless anyone has anything, open stage. Anyone have any shills? Anyone got anything that they want eyes on for the next week? Update on the budget extension proposal. Perfect. Yeah. So it's basically we're good on the SIG prop. It does indeed. Hefe, do you feel that it also needs to be SIG and core prop? There's no way that we can just enact the payout currently based on the proposal that just closed, or is there an opportunity for that, or do we need to go into core prop?
Yeah, so basically for core prop, now that the SIG prop is passed, I'll just DM the guys. I'll DM Coder Dan, but usually the core prop will get posted either on Tuesday or Wednesday. So as long as I let Coder Dan know over the weekend, we should be good for Tuesday to get the core prop up for that.
Gotcha, because they'll be the ones to put that up. So we'll get that core prop put up and then go through some same 7 days and then get our payout and then get money sent out. Are you gonna it's set up in the language for a dollar amount target. So regardless of where the price of Ghost is or how many Ghost tokens we receive at the time of actual payout, it's going to be targeted to a dollar amount. Is that correct?
Well, no, it's a fixed amount. I mean, it's. I thought it's for accounting purposes because we just set it at $1.40. I don't know what Ghost is at now, but it would be more Ghost than what we requested if that's the case.
Yeah, exactly. The ghost amount will fluctuate based on the dollar amount requirement. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so as long as we get the same dollars amount requested than what we initially mentioned in the SIG prop, the ghost can float along with the price in the meantime, as long as the dollars are what's extracted. The dollar value is what's extracted, because we'll essentially be distributing that. This time we'll be ready in terms of rapid distribution and get that out into y'all's hands just as soon as freaking possible. We know the amounts, we know what needs to be sent out, so as soon as we get the disbursement, we'll spin up those parcel pushes soon on those.
as soon as the funds are coming over, I'll set up a meeting and we'll do a multi-sig party and just get everything sent out that time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So should be in good shape. So there's the update on the budget extension proposal. So we'll make that happen.
Okay, I guess I'll add something because it is kind of related to the budget extension proposal. Lost Local, T-Bird knows about this, and I've talked to Hefe. Lost Local reached out to me last night about forming a media crew for Consensus. So I've already put together a budget, and I have like a plan that I'm going to be presenting to the DAO on Sunday. So I don't know if there's been any communication with GMI about like coverage beyond just like from what I've talked to Lost Local about. Like my role with the media team is basically to deliver like basically the Eat Denver media plan, but that's it. Like we're gonna focus just on media and we're just gonna be basically me, T-Bird, and Contact doing that. Has he reached out to you guys about doing like I guess the partnership slash BD side of it?
You're talking about Consensus?
Yeah, Consensus, which is
Yeah. He's reached out regarding Consensus, but not any details specifically. Just that Aavegotchi is intending on planning something for Consensus. That's as far as I've got with that.
Okay, yeah, because he hasn't really given me much plans except that like they want basic like like I'll go to the DAO and basically present that we're gonna attempt to do the same thing we did in ETH Denver from the media perspective, but as a separate like media team. And then I guess there's gonna be the BD partnership team. So my question is on Sunday I'm gonna present and do this. Do you think it's worthwhile for GMI to also do like to enter that conversation at least? For the other aspects of it because like once again I don't know what Lost Local has planned. All I know is like the media ask essentially and like like my team, me, T-Bird, and Contact will be able to do that like no problem. So I'm just wondering because like in my plan, like I guess I'm hosting whatever content in terms of interviews, but he's also talking about having an event similar to the Bidler Cafe and having a live stream and walk around interviews. And like that makes perfect sense if there are other people there,
Right.
doing the hosting. I can do it myself, but I'm just that's why I'm asking because I have no idea really beyond just like what he's asked me for media. So I was just wondering like what the approach would be there.
Okay, yeah. No, I think so. The approach there would be on Sunday when you bring up the media plan. I think it's good to have the plan up there, but I also think GMI should express their interest in that because I think there will be opportunities. Lost Local has mentioned for us to start thinking about it, but I think it requires probably a formal meeting with like Lost Local to figure out what his intentions are, what PC is actually planning there in that regard, and then for us to figure out, of course, what the budget would be for our side for our ask. And then we would present that to the DAO. But I do think it's a good time to start that discussion with your media plan, the way you see it, and then for GMI to just make sure that we express our intentions to be a part of that event.
Yeah, I'll give specifics on what's it called on Sunday because basically my plan has the budget estimated budget. I've already started looking for lodging for the media team to accommodate three of us, and basically this kind of fits into ETH Denver because basically I'm going to use the money from ETH Denver once paid out to book stuff for the team, like get the the Airbnb because if we go based on hotel rates, our lodging is going to be like 3,000 versus if we get an Airbnb in a timely fashion, we'll spend $749. So I'm just trying to make sure, like if all these things align, this should work out. But I have like, I'm not certain what what Lost Locals plans are, so I just figured you guys should know and then be able to, I guess, approach it that way.
So Consensus, for reference, is April 26th to the 28th. So it's literally about a 1 month runway from here. 2-day passes are $1,600 a person.
No passes.
Pro passes are Pro passes are $2,200 a person. The price goes up on passes here in another 14 days. And so it would have to be. This is the same thing that we just went through with NFT NYC and with NFT Miami. If we can't get the kind of sense of intention from Pixelcraft, then it's really hard for us to make an ask.
Yeah.
We can easily ask for 5Gs or we could ask for 50. I don't know what their appetite would be for potential coverage. And if we were to cold solicit it to the DAO, then I I don't know enough yet about consensus to know what the value prop is there.
Yeah, see, from my understanding and the communications I've had so far, Lost Local, because I asked him, like, are we going to have a booth? What kind of like, so he's basically said the media team is going to be responsible only for media. There's not going to be any overlap other than maybe me hosting and doing little things there. But that we're going to, like, basically 10 to 12 hours a day of media work. But when I asked about like booth, he says Aavegotchi's not going to have a booth there, and that
Hmm.
we don't need to include tickets because we're not going to get tickets. It's probably going to be like more of a we're doing side events thing, similar to NFT NYC, where we don't have a booth or anything really inside of the convention, but we're going to market and do like capture content of the Aavegotchi like event and whatever other like parties and co-sponsored events that we're doing. So the tickets won't be like, because that was my concern. Right now, without lodging, the expensive lodging, the budget for us three, including equipment fees, compensation at the rate that we got for Eve Denver, plus like a bounty for me to coordinate, which Hardcore suggested since Jesse's been kind of pushing for use of D work. Um, Per diems and an emergency fund I'm going to request of extra $1,000 just in case that we can return to the DAO if we don't spend. That budget's like somewhere around 6 or 7 thousand without spending almost 5 grand on tickets.
Yeah.
So there's just not enough information. That's why I'm asking, like, if you guys know anything else, just so I can try to align my ducks a little bit better. But from my end, it should be easy because it's just the deliverables are what we did media wise in ETH Denver. I
Hmm.
guess the second part of this question is, have you guys released the interviews that Contact cut up? Because I haven't been paying attention to the GMI Discord, Twitter as much, but I just wonder if that stuff has gone out already.
As much, it completely stopped. No, you were the only one moving any of that stuff, quite honestly, at that time. So I don't think anyone's moved any of the contact interviews or whatnot. There's a huge backlog of content to be released as well. We can take ownership of that and advance on that then.
Yeah, because from my end, like I did release the rest of the interviews that I did at the Bidler Cafe, and I think I've released almost everything. There's probably a couple of like wearable giveaway interviews that I did, but I got like all of the major stuff like like Drost, the interviews that we did, like a lot of the major stuff that was outside stand-up interviews. So I'm just wondering what should be the plan going forward for the release of the if we should wait or if we should release those contact videos, because the longer we wait, the less timely it is. And I don't know like also what the DAO's expectation for that media is at this point. Like I feel like
No, I feel like we've delivered on for the most part in terms of DAO
Yeah, we're definitely
expectations. I
clear.
feel like, yeah.
okay, yeah, I just want to
Yeah.
make sure, 'cause, like, I'm preparing, like, if I have to continue to edit, there is some stuff, but there's not really on my end a lot of stuff left to be released that hasn't been, like, that is pertinent, Like, we can do our, like, what's your favorite gotchi stuff that we did in the lodge, but I think only, like, three of us actually did those interviews, so it might not actually be worthwhile, to release
I
that.
do I do think T-Bird has a great backlog of content, specifically photos, that I think we should, I could set up some auto tweets and we should just get a few of them out over the next couple of weeks at least, just to keep the good vibes going. I think there were some really great memories that were captured, and so that could make for some really good engagement posts. But as far as like in-depth interviews and stuff, that stuff you might be right there. It might be less timely to release that stuff now, but definitely like stills, like photos and stuff, that could be useful.
I honestly think it's still timely to release all of it. Otherwise,
Okay.
what's the alternative? It just dies. We never use it. It is not more useful in 3 months. And so let's just keep dripping it out in general. Yeah, well, then that's a whole nother discussion. That's a pipe dream right now. I haven't seen any real design plans yet on that for timetable or anything like that. And so that's still a great idea and a long-term dream. And I'll let that one take the long curve to play out. But I think that you've definitely done your part in terms of post work and post edit and released the large bulk of what you were aware of. So Hefe and I can definitely jump involved and see what's still available, chop up some of these T-Bird assets, get the contact pieces out there. Still plenty to talk about. I think that ETH Denver can essentially become our nostalgic sweetheart that we're harping back to for the next couple of months, almost all the way back till February next year.
Okay, I mean, there's opportunity to spread some stuff out there, and at least over the next couple of weeks, we can get a good chunk of that content cut up and just auto like auto tweeted or whatever. Speaking to consensus, I also want to in general say that I don't think it's necessary for GMI to be present at every single one of these events. I think we should be strategic from the GMI perspective on where we can make an impact. For example, if we were going to go to consensus, but we're not going to be getting tickets, well, I think that that's a huge amount of value there that we could potentially be giving up, especially if we're going there with the purpose of partnerships and BD. And so that would make sense to ask for tickets for that. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense for us to be there for that. There's specific events that I don't think really beyond media coverage would be, like NFT NYC is very much like there are some networking components, but I don't know if that's going to be the most relevant crowd to like bring, for example, partnerships on board or that sort of thing. I could be wrong because I've never been to NFT
You
NYC,
are wrong.
but
I'm just saying that because like last year, a good example, Jesse did a presentation at a Chainlink event. It's where actually I think I took this picture because this is where I got the godlike, the one of one polo shirt. At that meeting, while I stepped outside to smoke some weed on the rooftop area, a woman came over and started talking to me, and she's like a huge whale investor who was looking for games to jump into and new Web3 things. So like at any of these events, there's basically everybody that's there is doing something in Web3. Although we're going to have a lot of people who are PFP degens, a lot of these people also have backgrounds and other shit within Web3. And at the very least, they could potentially be investors,
mhm.
like buy up stuff. So I do think even if we don't go to the conference, like the conference isn't really even that big a deal. Like if you look at ETH Denver, the layout of that conference is completely different than NFT NYC. So there's like
Sure.
you'll meet people at side events. So it's almost more like at NFT NYC last year, our focus was more on the side events, like going to the Polygon events and talking with other people, or the Chainlink events where there are other projects there, presenting and talking. So there is definitely value there.
Yeah, no, I could see that. Like I said, I haven't been to NFT NYC, so I don't really know of the environment, the specifics there. But I do understand there's some like good networking opportunities. Yeah, we should have a discussion about it on Sunday and do a temperature check from the DAO. But overall, I think we need to get it out there if we're gonna move on it. If that's something Pixelcraft is thinking about, we should move on it. At least get some sort of a plan in motion for it.
It's just the weirdest operations flow to come from Jason essentially. So essentially from Pixelcraft to activate community members to ask the DAO to activate them.
It's a chicken and egg problem. Every time it's going to be a chicken and egg problem. I think we need to think of a better approach from our perspective, and so that we have a process for these things already.
Well, we almost ended early, but this is good, good last minute conversations
Yeah.
here. No, it's good. Same thing with the proposal to talk about the budget extension. Those are good key pieces, and that's the whole point. That's why we're here, is that you guys don't have questions. So good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. All good points there. I'll look into consensus a little bit more, and we'll discuss that on Sunday. Other than that, that's it. We've wrapped up here for the Syncopator. We talked about a lot here, and don't want to take up too much of y'all's time, but appreciate everybody coming out here tonight and hanging out with us.
Save your channelings, and we'll drop some alchemic in the morning.
Hell yeah.
All right, friend. That's a wrap. Hit it. Get on out of here. Appreciate y'all being here. TKT Bird, No Future, Light Piglet, Got Your Bulls, Good Vibes, Audio Slave, Foreign Flame, Zombie, and Hefe. Well done. Thanks, y'all.
Hell yeah. Peace.
Peace, friends. See you in the morning.